Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smith of the Black with a Strat Time Report, and today's a little twickier than yesterday, so let's take a look. We had a bad tick in the SPY, so we're going to go to UPRO, and still an inside week, still an inside month. However, potential on the outside day coming up here. So we gapped down, came back, and you can see here in the 15er, 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2 up. Since then, chop shop in here, folks, and you just got to be aware of that. However, you're bright green on the day, that's still holding, so that's important to know. If we go to QQQ, and QQQ also potentially an outside day, but look at this month. Doji, inside week still, and very similar. So when you have a gap down on all the futures, they can all look very similar, and you can see that 2-2 reversal right there. Then triangle out, 2-2 reversal on the hammer here, trying to come back in. If you go to a 5-minute, here's what you were dealing with on that chop shop. You can see this, the lower low, the higher high, the lower low, the higher high, and now riding the top of this really tight broadening formation, which is a problem. Right? It's really tight. We want these things to be a lot bigger, but that's how price discovery works, and that's how it starts out. So you really want to try and find more equities than futures in this environment. If you go to the diamonds, you see fairly similar coming up on the outside day. And there it was, the 2-2 reversal on the 15. So diamonds coming up a little bit better because they're not an inside week, right? That's good. And, you know, especially if you are going to trade the futures, you always want to keep an eye on the 4 broader averages. And that's why you can see who the strength and the weakness is on any given day. And you can see today, strength is small cappers already on the outside day and taking last week's highs out. Right? It's still an inside month. And they started off similar, but then you can see it firmed up, and you go here. You see this inside bar? Pokes down, Rev Strat, boom, takes her into the high. So there's that. We've got a few themes trying to work here, but I'm still being pretty cautious. So if we go to the energies, OIH, and OIH coming up just a bit here. You can see that taking that out, and it takes the inside week to the upside. If you go to XLE, here, and XLE a little bit less. So how's that XOP? XOP a little better on the inside day here to the upside. Still an inside week, and we're going to be aware of that. And you can see a lot of things stalling out in here. Keep an eye on these broader averages. Looks like they're trying to back into that micro try. You got a slob. Excuse me, slob. Stuck in here. It is inside day and up, but we can keep an eye on that. It does give you the outside 1-bar Rev Strat week. Inside and down, back up. So we'll see, and you can always watch that with Halliburton. You see that looking real similar and just kind of stuck in here for now. Fang energy. Here, Fang takes the inside day to the upside. Now you can see that here, like a lot of things, getting stuck in more price discovery. You can see this here on the 15. Lower low. Higher high. Need to get out of that. If we go to Oxy, how's that thing doing? And Oxy having a nice little day, not an inside day, but once again, a lot of things fading back in right now. If we go to PXD, so that inside day, that slight gap down. Yep, slight gap down, outside day to the upside, still inside on the week, and you can see like a lot of things just had their moment and drifting back, but we'll see how that goes into the afternoon. We also have the banks, a few of them, JP Morgan, takes an inside day to the upside, but now chop shoppy, being real careful in here. Like I said, this is a little trickier, because if now you go back to those QQQ on the 5er, and you're going to see this. And back into the try she goes. So be careful out there. Still really tight stuff. So as we've seen, today's I call back enders, where they chop them up all day, and then people are so tired by the time you get towards the close that they're beat up and they don't trade the real move. So be aware of that. If we go to XME, inflation, baby. That's backing off here with the market just a tad. As you can see here, has its moment and then drifting back, but taking out last month's highs. That's always something we want to know, especially in this environment. You can see that CLF still having an all right day, hanging out up there. So a lot of things potentially 60s or inside 30s. So we'll see. How's SCCO doing? SCCO now backing off. Letter X hit some steel coming up, and now inside 60 to the downside. So things cooling off just a tad here. And if we go to Boeing, we got some of the pandemic names still moving here. Boeing having a nice week here, nice and green on the week. Still inside of the month, but nice day here. Just stalling out like a lot of things. We'll see if that sets up. You got how's Wynn Resorts doing? Wynn Resorts still coming up off the inside week, and that tells us to keep an eye with LVS. And LVS not so much. How about the cruise ships doing? Cruise ship RCL still taking out that inside week to the upside, and CCL having a nice little day, just stalling out with market. So the pandemic trade's still on. You can see CCL going after last month's highs. That's a good thing. Airlines just kind of stalling out. So it's not totally everybody. You got Delta taking out yesterday's highs, though. If we go to, how about Marriott? And Marriott trying to go for an outside day, so there's still pandemics are still on the menu. If we go to Flav IFF. And IFF had a nice morning, now just fading, so we can see if that sets up again. Here's your 2-2 reversal week. 2 down, 2 up, right? And if that works, potentially you're an outside month. But we'll see. So they jammed them hard early, and we'll see if they come back there. If you go to MongoDB, and MongoDB just having a nice green day here, and you can see on the 60 if this thing's going to keep going. You get the 2 up, the 2 down, and then the 2 up continuation in the next hour. If you can take over 460, 253, because you're 2 up on the week, albeit inside month, but you're bright green on the month over there. If we go to MNDY, and MNDY taking out last week's highs, that's good. Still inside of the month, but green. You got some slight exhaustion risk. You can see the lower lows and the higher highs on the daily, so that's got to keep going, but it is staying near the highs. The broader average is really drying up, so be careful over there. ZS. And Zscaler, also 2 up on the week, still inside of the month like a lot of things, just having a nice day, just going into short-term exhaustion by taking out the recent highs. As you can see, all these things that are stalling out, that's the short-term exhaustion risk I'm talking about. If you go to ASAN, having a nice day. And inside week to the upside, that's the 2-1-2 reversal for you. And if that works, you're getting closer to a 2-2 week month. If you can take this out, 76.93, you got a little bit more room on that, but you're having a real nice day here so far, and just getting caught up in here like a lot of things stuck. If we go to CLSK, one of the few, the proud, the 2-2 monthly reversals here. Over 991, you're there. For the rest of the month, we can keep an eye on that, and you can see this on the way down. Inside month, 2-1-2 reversal, triangle layout, and boom, 2-2 reversal back down. Now you're 2-2 reversal back up. So the hopes is that this is your broadening formation here on a monthly basis. You got your lower low, and you had your higher high, like so. There, so you can keep an eye on that. So far so good. Now stalling out like a lot of things going inside on the 60. If we go to OSH, little 1-bar rev strat weaker, 1-3, still handily inside here, but you can see having a nice morning. It's still going, and you had a nice little 30 on this one here, inside on the 30 for your continuation. If we go to BILL, having a nice little day here, and that's also going 2-2 reversal on the month, 2 down, 2 up. So for the rest of the month on BILL, you're over 252.11. You're handily there, so climbing back through these guys, and you can see the higher high, the 2-2 reversal, 2 up, 2 down, peak, the sideways, the puke, and then the 2-2 reversal off the lows. And then here's on the daily how you look for that continuation to do that. The 2 up, the 2 down, and then these 2 become an outside bar of that, and today's the follow through, and so far it's working. Nice little inside 30 for you. We'll see if that sets up again for us. If we go to Sono, and Sono, nice little day. I believe that earnings, and see, here was the reversal on the week, the 2 down, the 2 up, and still going and coming back through previous range. That's good. Here was your inside 30, and now still going into the highs. That's good. You like to come back to those previous ranges, and once again, here, if you can take this out, 30.78, now you're at 2 months back to the upside. So just keep an eye on that. If we go to UPST, and UPST, just a little more follow through from yesterday's strength. Still an inside month, but getting closer to taking out that week. And just like to see anything that can continue moving higher when the market stalls out, and that would be that. Roku. And Roku, last week was a slight 2 up on the week. Here, trying to fight back. Still handling an inside month, but we know this thing's been beaten. All right, so just having a nice day in here. Stalling out a little bit. We'll see if that goes inside on the 30 or not. AFRM. AFRM, I believe that's earnings today, so they're feeling pretty good about themselves coming into that. So we'll see if that continues. If you get in the inside 60s, there was a 1-bar Rev Strat 60 inside, then down. Then once it goes green, we're looking for the outside bar, 1-3, boom, get it. See if that sets up again for us. If we go to the downside, they're hitting some Utes. So utilities coming down on a 2-day, 2 up, 2 down day, and getting closer to taking out the lows of last week. Still an inside monther, but here you can see your inside 60, the downside, and the Utes, XLU, weak sector. If we go to Pi firming up here just a little bit, but we had a nice gap down, and this is something you could hit right away and real fast. And why? This is a kicker. They got them good here. Ain't nobody's going to be short through this, right? And so then when it gaps down, you can use that continuity entry, steamroll them. Right here, as soon as it goes up and then comes back down and takes out the opening to the downside, you can hit that. And then any sign of strength, just get out, because he comes down here, stops these guys out, not weak enough for that. So once it starts firming up, you just get out. But that still was a nice dump to the lows from the opening of 76.89 down to 70.52. So right now, stuck in that range. So we'll see if that rolls back later today. If we go to Amgen. And Amgen, the 212 daily reversal. 2 up, inside, 2 down. So the magnitude was hit right there to do that. So we'll see if that can continue. Still green on the week and the month, but potential gap fillage. But we'll see, because the IBB is strong. So if that can weaken, that might help. If you go to Johnson & Johnson, not totally getting crushed here, but keeping an eye on it, because you go 2 up on the day by taking out the highs, then 2 down. But it's also a tight broadening formation. You're slight higher high or slight lower low. But if you look over here, if you can take this out, and if it stays inside week, you can go after it next week. But if you take this out, then you got the 322 to the downside on the weekly. Right now stuck in here on the 60s, like a lot of things. If we go to TWOU. Pain and suffering. You got some exhaustion risk, but once again, when you see a move like this, and then the 2 up and the 2 down reversal on the gap, not much of a wick there to hit, right? But she just pokes up a little bit and slam-ola, and down she goes. If we go to Zebra, and Zebra also here. Look at that. That opened on D-high, period. 2 up, 2 down reversal, and bam, down she goes inside 60 to the downside, stuck in that opening 60 range. But when this happened, it also triggers this. Hammer, shooter, boom, 2-2 reversal on the week. And if that works, you might take out last month's lows. Might want to keep an eye on that. If we go to SSTK. SSTK, it was already red. 2 up, 2 down, boom. Now trying to recover, and it does go 2 up, 2 down on the week and going after the monthly low. But anytime you go into slight lower lows, that's exhaustion risk. And right now, Rev Strat 60 back up. Inside, 2 down, back up. We'll see if anything comes of that. Just a couple more here because Uber had Investor Day. It wasn't going so well. So you got an outside day in Uber to keep an eye on. Mother bar issues in here on the inside 60. That would have to form, but you can also watch Lyft with that. All right, so Lyft got hit right out the chute on that thing, the 60, the outside 60, the 322. So there's that, but for the most part, all right, market coming in a little bit. Let's take a look at that. Qster Fiver. So we can expect a chop here, folks, and back down through the trash he goes. All right, right now they're coming in, so be aware of that. And like I said, chop shoppage. All right, it's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith. This is the Black Strat Time Report.